My name is David Colins. I'm the Vice Provost, Integrated Planning and Academic Programs for the University, and I have the pleasure tonight of providing a welcome on behalf of the University.
Can you just tell me a little bit about what this program is?
Well, it's a program that introduces young people to new opportunities. I mean, specifically, this is a program that addresses exposure to science and to engineering, observations of the physical and natural world. It's something that children who are far removed from major school and university settings don't get the opportunity for, and it's something that resonates with me because basically it takes me back to my youth and the situation that I was in trying to make a career about what I was going to do. I'm a Indigenous New Zealander and come from a very small village and had no clue what I wanted to do. I would have loved an opportunity like this, and I was really very fortunate in that a local primary school teacher took me under her wing, took me to a major secondary school and showed me things that I'd never seen before. It changed my world. It's going to change the world of these young people. I've been coming to this event now for several years. I've gotten to know a lot of the young people here. Ron Wasnow and I stay in touch. I support this program strongly. I just can't say enough for the opportunity it provides, and I believe in the fullness of time it's going to improve the lives of a lot of young people.
Okay. What would you say to some young people they want to try a program like this, but they're living up north, or they're living miles and miles away? Just tell me about maybe some of that experience that you had, and then why that's important for them to actually travel and make these new experiences.
Well, it's interesting. We seem to get landlocked where we grow up, but actually, I mean, I came from New Zealand. It's on the other side of the world, and I just had a desire to move and to experience new things, and it takes a spark to do that. It's very difficult to change, and there has to be some sort of transformative experience that makes you want to pick things up, and with the support of the people you were brought up with, go elsewhere and look at a different way of life. I had to convince my family that I wanted to go to university. Actually, I had to convince my aunties, which is the hardest thing in the world to do in a Maori village. You have to answer for them. I went to them and said, look, Auntie, I want to study science at university. That didn't go well until I explained to them what science was, which is just a systematic way of looking at the natural world. And that worried them a little bit, because they asked me then, well, why didn't I go fishing with my grandfather? He knew more about the natural world than anybody alive. And I said, well, that's great, but I want to extend it further. I had to convince them, and then the support was tremendous. But you need a spark. You need to be able to see something that you could take back and discuss with your people and say, this is something that's going to make our lives better.
Cool. No, thank you very much. Let me ask you a quick question. Why science?
Well, it could be anything, but for Indigenous peoples in isolated areas, engineering and science are critical to addressing some of the environmental issues that we have to deal with. Education generally is important, and I could say the same thing for anything. This program is specifically about science and engineering because in Canada, with the Indigenous peoples, they're not well represented in those disciplines. And really, it's important to them.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. I hope I didn't screw anything too much up. But, oh, perhaps you should have turned that off, shouldn't you?